What's up? What's up, everyone? I see this guy in the background. I'm cracking up. It is Oscar time. It is. He's got to do the intro. You got to do the intro. Go ahead.
What is going on, people? It is our favorite time of the year. It's Pub Talks. Time to shine. This is where we always have our most fun. It's Oscar time. We've all been watching, blitzing a bunch of films. What's up, Movie Mania Movie Mania Nick, not Movie Mania Chick. Who is that? Who is the chick? Movie Mania Nick. Yeah, John Surfbum also, and Dave S. Patrick, and Dave Strangand. Welcome into the chat, guys. Welcome to the pub. Welcome to Pub Talk. This is, like I said, it's our favorite time of the year. Dan is here. He makes a rare appearance. He watches a few movies, and he's ready for this. Are you ready for this, Dan?
Listen. This is like our annual tradition. We've been doing this for however many years, and
this is the seventh annual Pub Talk Oscars. Yeah, it is the seventh annual Pub Talk Oscars.
These shenanigans, and
yeah,
I had to be here. I'm always here.
I appreciate you, Dan. Dan has Oscar-worthy hair today. I like the hair. The hairdo looks good.
He's just missing a tux, isn't he? He looks sharp.
It's funny enough because I'm very grumpy today.
You are very grumpy today.
Yeah.
And of course, Rob Fuzz is with us, Mr. Fuzz.
What's up, everyone, how's it going?
Hosting the stream for tonight, and Kimmy's in the chat as well. Kimmy, we got her to do her picks, so So yeah, obviously, Movie Mania Chick, also known as Movie Mania Nick. He's done his picks as well.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, we've got a bunch of regulars who normally do their picks. Grace has done hers.
Let's go. We have 13 people. Let's go through the 13 people who did the picks.
Okay, so we've got the four Pub Talk.
Welcome.
Welcome. I say the four Pub Talk regulars. There's 5 Pub Talk regulars because we shouldn't discount Mike there, but Mike hasn't done the Pub Talk Oscars. He's normally been away and been busy when the Pub Talk Oscars stuff has been going on. So Mike is yet to partake in any of the 7 Oscars series. We need to get him on one year. But we do have, of course, we do have the 3 of us here: Rob, Dan, myself, and Brandon. Brandon couldn't make it tonight, unfortunately, but he's always partaken in all of the Oscars Pub Talk stuff. Grace has always taken part. Noah has always taken part. Jim from More Sunshine Please always takes part. Rob, what are you buffing there, Rob?
Well, but it's funny you ask. It's my trophy from last year because we tied last year.
We tied last year. I don't need to buff mine because it's not got dust on it because I kept it packaged. But
right. You don't. Yeah. You guys don't need to gloat every time you get your shiny.
Hey, I'm not gloating. If I was gloating, I'd have all 5 of mine there. Yeah, I'm just saying. I'd go full John Cena, but and you wouldn't see me for Oscar's statues in front of me. Anyway, Jim from More Sunshine Please always takes part. He's submitted his picks. Diztails Ray has also submitted hers. As I said, Movie Mania Nick, Pink Pam, Kimmy, and Chris. They've all done their picks. So
Chris. I don't think.
Chris. Yeah.
Is this the most amount as anybody? Like this is the biggest turnout of predictions we've ever had. 13 is our new highest, I think. Yeah, Pam's in the chat. Welcome in, Pam. So Pam got her picks in earlier today. I think Pam, Grace, Kimmy, and JC. Oh, JC as well. Jonathan Chong. He's normally in the chat. They have been the last ones to get their picks in, but they did it just in time. And we're ready to go.
Wednesday, guys.
Yeah.
Next year we got to be a little stricter.
Oh, we extended it to as long as it was before we were live. As long as it was before we were live. So, yeah. I'm excited. This year, it's got to be said, this year's Oscars, like I think the last few years, the whole award season has suffered from a complete predictability, like Oppenheimer last year. You knew Oppenheimer was going to win at the Oscars and was going to win big because it had absolutely coasted through the rest of award season and claimed just about everything. The year before, Everything, Everywhere, All at Once did exactly the same. And I think for the last few years there has been a certain amount of just kind of locks in most of the categories. You kind of knew what was going to win, whereas this year this has been a really wild and crazy award season. There's been so many shocks going on because the Golden Globes started with what we thought was going to be the front runner and the outlier, but then suddenly the Critics' Choice shifted, and then the BAFTAs shifted it again, and there are like maybe there's a few categories that are locks, but there are so many wide open races. Like even the Best Picture, I think, could go to any one of three at the moment. So, and like while we thought maybe leading actor and leading actress were locks at one point, other people have gone and taken the prizes, which have made it a bit more open and quite interesting now. I think some of the writing categories are open. I think director is wide open, and this is going to make for a really interesting Oscars this year. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this plays out. I'm really scared about my predictions because
this every year though.
Yeah, but like the last couple of years, I've been a bit more confident because there were so many locks, whereas this year it really could go anywhere, and so it's I think there's going to be a lot of shocks this year, which are just going to spoil people's ballots left, right, and center.
I'm not worried at all. I'm so confident in my picks. I think this is the most confident I've ever been in all the years.
Your picks were great, Dan. Don't down yourself. They were really good.
I haven't looked through Dan's picks yet. I haven't. There's a few picks like I haven't seen Dan's. I haven't seen Pam's. I haven't seen JC's or Grace's yet.
Well, the reason why you haven't seen mine is because I sent it in like an hour or two ago to Rob.
You sure did.
I kept my cards very close to my chest.
Welcome in Noah as well. Noah's in the chat. He says he's half worried.
Noah was the first one to give the pick. So like as soon as I gave
Noah
him an hour later, boom. His picks are
Noah
great.
was done about 4 weeks ago. He was like, "Yep, I'm done." So yeah,
too funny. But
I've spent the last few weeks blitzing as many films as I could before I made my decisions. Yeah.
By the way, we have a podcast, guys. If you're listening on, if you're watching on YouTube, we have a podcast, so check it out. I'm going to be posting this probably in the morning.
The Pubcast.
We have a Pubcast. Yeah, and I just wanted to thank my sponsor channels, and I wanted to thank my members, and thank you guys so much. All the links are in the description of all the podcast and of YouTube. And we're going to be doing real quick before we move on, Adam. I didn't mean to interrupt. We're going to be doing
all good.
We do Pub Talk on my channel and Adam's channel. Maybe one day we'll do it on this guy down here, his channel over there, Disney Dan with Z. But Sunday we're going to do. We do this every year. We did the announcements live. We did a show dwelling on the announcements, like talking about them and analyzing it.
The nominations, the nominations. Yeah.
We do the prediction show, which is this one, and then Sunday on Adam's Land we're going to do. Adam's going to do the red carpet. I jump in on that. I think we're going to have some special guests there too. And then Monday we're going to go over, after the Oscars, we're going to go over who won. See who won, who's going to get one of these bad boys statues here. So
the results, the recap and reaction on Monday, and on Sunday. Yeah, are you going to be dressed in your best, Rob?
Pretty much this. So
no, come on, you got to put more of an effort on than just a t-shirt.
We'll
I've laid the gauntlet down for any guests coming on to at least put a shirt and jacket on if you're a guy, maybe put a nice dress on if you're a girl, and I might even wear my tux. Stay tuned if you want to see me in a tux. It's nothing special.
Nice.
It's probably even more disappointment than this right now. But
I disagree.
But yeah, if you're new to my channel, Adam's Land, that's where the other streams are going to be. Of course, here's Disney Dan's channel. A lot of great content over there. More stuff coming soon. There's been a rumor.
It's in the pipeline.
So I like that.
It's in the pipeline.
All right, let's go. We're gonna go. We're gonna try to keep
JC is in the chat, by the way, and JC has just said about sending. He sent you his picks as well.
All right, here. So it's official. Let's see. JC is the last of the 13 to enter. So hopefully, I got yours, Jonathan. I told you to CC in Adam as well.
He said he couldn't find my email. That's absolutely fine.
It's fine. I got it. So I got it. No problem. We will add you in, Jonathan. It's official right before the stream. So.
May I add 2 things?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right. Number 1. Firstly, if you haven't checked out the podcast, you have to, because I was listening into the podcast of our last stream, Rob's birthday, on the way to work this week, and it was just a really fun episode. It was really good.
Cool.
The second thing, and we were talking about this before the stream started. I just wanted to ask this question to Adam, and that is, how would you feel if, after all this hard work of putting in the copious amount of hours of watching all these movies, you end up losing to a man who's only watched 2?
This year, it wouldn't surprise me because there's that many wide open races.
Yeah, there is.
This year, I think, so, like, we only get 1 pick in each category, right?
Yeah.
So that stands to reason in the wide open races that there's an 80% chance you're going to get it wrong. So, like, there's a few locks, I think. And the first category we discuss, I think, is pretty much a lock.
Well, hold on a sec. We got some questions before we move on. Movie Mania Nick is asking, question for you guys. All these films, how many you've actually seen? I've seen some of them, not all. That's good. That's a great question. And I think Dan was kind of alluding to it. And Jonathan, I got your votes. No problem.
Okay. So there are...
This is... There are please.
50. So Dan's just put up 2. Dan has watched 2.
Spoiler alert.
There are 50 nominated pictures this year, including the 10 Best Picture nominees, including the ones that are nominated for performances or just visual effects or just original song. Some films get nominated and it's only nominated for a song that is a part of it, including the documentaries, the shorts, the animated films, the animated shorts, the live action shorts, and the international films. There are 50 total nominated. I'm not going to give you my final answer because I aim to watch at least another couple of them before Sunday's show. However, I will say it's more than 40 that I've seen. So out of the 50,
crazy.
I've seen more than 40.
Awesome.
And
crazy.
it's been a gruel because like it was like when the announcements, when the nominations were made, what was it, 38 days we had before the Oscars? So that's like 36 days ago. And 36 days ago I had seen 2. So I've added at least another 40 to that, let's say, in the last 36 days. So that's been tiring.
You know what's funny? He hasn't seen Wicked yet, though. I'm spoiler.
I have seen Wicked.
Oh,
I have seen Wicked.
I'm sorry. You haven't seen.
I have
Did you get to see? You haven't seen one of the major movies.
There are 2 Best Picture
Wicked,
ones. There are 2 Best Picture ones that I'm still yet to see. And one of them is because it's just not available anywhere.
Right,
so
yeah.
If it's not released yet, you can't watch it. So
do you think that's going to be heard it?
One of the ones I've seen bits of it, but I've just not watched it all the way through yet. So
okay, that's fair.
So yeah.
I've seen real quick. I'm sorry. I'm looking at. We have a list of everything, and of course, only me and Adam added it. But I've seen 12, and that includes like the shorts, and I've seen almost all the animated ones. And I've seen a couple of the Best Pictures, but
I've seen a few of the Best Pictures, right?
I hate to admit it. Yeah, I've started a few of them. I didn't finish watching some, but I think by Sunday I'll have. Look, I killed myself in the past to go see. I was trying to see all the best actors, anything that was nominated, and of course the Best Pictures. I killed myself, and the last 2-3 years I just have it. Like I just see what I want to see. So, I'll see the major ones, but that's about it. Yeah. So I'm excited though. So let's get into it. So I'm going to let you steer, Adam. This is kind of your show. So.
Okay. Have you got the voiceover bits and things?
Which one are we doing first?
Okay. So. Yeah, they should be in numerical order, which makes it easier for you. So while you queue them up.
Yeah.
But like I said, like there's a couple of them off the bat that I think are locks, but then it gets blown wide open in some of the other categories. So without further ado, let's see what people are backing, what people are rooting for, what we have picked. Let's get into the first category. Take it away, Rob.
Here are the nominees for performance by an actor in a supporting role. Yura Borisov for Honora, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce for The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice.
And there we go. Amazing voiceovers by Kimmy.
Yeah, she's awesome.
She is our professional voiceover artist. So,
by the way, can I say something about Kimmy? Kimmy was not going to do it this year, and I kind of said, Kimmy, do me a favor. I want you to beat Dan. I want you to take 5 minutes, pick the picks, and you're going to beat Dan. And she's going to beat you, Dan.
Gauntlet thrown down.
Sorry,
Kimmy did it. Yeah, Kimmy did it. So yeah.
I heard her. We were on a voice call, a conference call, and I heard her picks. They were great, Kimmy. So good luck to you. Good luck to everyone.
What I heard was that Adam asked Kimmy to do it again this year, but to do it backwards. But she said no, do it. She's going to do it the normal way.
Okay,
and she did do it the normal way.
But not backwards like we were going to plan on doing, and then we all had to mimic.
Oh, right for the game. Yes, that would have been great.
Yeah, welcome in Stevie Lee. Okay, so best actor in a supporting role, the first category that they announced this year. I think it's I've seen all of these films. I think they are great performances. Yura Borisov is great in Honora. Kieran Culkin is fantastic in A Real Pain. Edward Norton was good in A Complete Unknown. Guy Pearce was really good in The Brutalist as well. And I really, really, really loved Jeremy Strong's performance in The Apprentice. If I was voting with my heart, I would actually go with Jeremy Strong. However, there was also the Kieran Culkin performance, and my head has gone with Kieran Culkin because his performance was so good. There's a lot of love about his performance. He's obviously done really well in the rest of awards season, taking the Golden Globe, and the Critics' Choice, and the BAFTA, and the SAG Award. So Kieran Culkin looks like he's going to take the Oscar as well, I would say. Most of us have gone with Kieran Culkin. I think Pam has gone with Ed Norton for A Complete Unknown, and Movie Mania Nick has gone with Guy Pearce from The Brutalist. But most of the rest of us have gone with Kieran Culkin. I will say about his performance, I wanted to punch him, but that's annoying. That's how much of a pain he is. But it's a really, really good performance. It is fantastic.
Yeah, I kind of read the synopsis of it. I'm like, okay, it's going to be an interesting movie. So
it's a good movie. It is.
But I think he's a lock. I don't know. He's won a lot of different awards. He was on the SAG Awards the other day. His speech was horrible. Yeah. I hope he prepares a better speech if he's going to win an Oscar. As Noah said too, during the SAG Awards, they were showing him as Fuller from Home Alone.
Yeah. From Home Alone. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
I always call the guy Fuller. So he's always like wet in his bed with the Coke can and stuff. So I don't know.
And one thing I will say here as well, bearing in mind that Kieran Culkin has won the Golden Globe, has won the Critics' Choice, the BAFTA, and the SAG Award. There's only been once in Oscars history where an actor won all 4 of those televised awards and then lost the Oscar.
Wow!
And that was when Russell Crowe didn't win the Oscar in 2002, and instead Denzel Washington took the award. But that's the only time in awards history that an actor had taken the previous 4 awards and then didn't win the Oscar. So yeah, I think that's a lock for Kieran Culkin.
Yeah, for sure.
We like I say, we all went for that apart from Movie Mania Nick and Pam. But they're all good performances. They're all really good performances. I'm surprised nobody went with Jeremy Strong because his performance in The Apprentice was phenomenal.
I like
his performance. Was I
can't wait to see that movie. I want to see it.
Yeah, interesting that Jeremy Strong and Kieran Culkin as well. Weren't they like the Roy brothers in Succession? Up against each other.
Yeah, they were. So, that's funny. Yeah. We started watching Succession. We're like, I don't know, 10 episodes in. I kind of gave up on it, but one more thing too, Adam. Why do we wait till the last minute too? I think it's an interesting thing to talk about.
Why do we wait until the last minute for what?
Yeah, like to do our picks and stuff. So
I just want to watch as much as I can beforehand. So
yeah, we're watching, and then also too, we'll see. We always talk about this in the past too, and I really wanted to bring it up that you have that flow, that ebb and flow of the award season. It was definitely weird this year. Not weird, but it was different this year because of the LA fires and everything. So
pushed a lot of things back.
But yeah, and then like a couple controversies and stuff like that. That's always an issue too. So Amelia Perez, 13 nominations, and that had a big controversy with the lead actor in that. We'll talk about that later though. But you always kind of want to wait and see what happens. You know what I mean? Like and the best was Adam watches the BAFTAs, and I didn't have it this year, so Adam's texting me all the different results. He's like, let's go, like all the because the BAFTAs are like another award show, and it kind of who won the BAFTAs, who won the Golden Globe, who won the SAG Awards. So each award show it was all over the place, like Adam said,
and it shows where the momentum swings, because like you can start an award season where someone has really good momentum, like Jamie Lee Curtis a couple of years ago, when she wasn't in the running really for supporting actress, and then she came strong at the end, and won for Everything Everywhere All at Once, and we saw it also with the Best Picture race like 3 years ago when Power of the Dog, everyone was expecting Power of the Dog to coast it to Best Picture, and there was just that late momentum surge for Coda. And it's great to hey Grace, welcome in, Grace A B C D E and F. It's great to see those momentum swings, and so it does make it really interesting. So why do we leave it so long? One, so I could watch as much as I can and formulate my own opinion as well. And then two, it's interesting to see those momentum swings. It doesn't necessarily mean that like I said, the Oscars, I've said this time and again, I say this every year, the Oscars always throws up at least one shock. This year, I think it's going to throw up loads. I think it'll throw up plenty of shocks.
Yeah, my kind of show.
Anyway, the second award, and this one I think is a lock as well. And this one I can say safely that I think all of us. Now I am actually missing JC's picks on the sheet at the minute. So
we'll get.
I know Rob will have them in there, but so far all of us have gone with the same thing. So
I'm just going by your numbers, your videos, right?
Yep. So yep. Number 2. Yep. Here are the nominees for Achievement in Costume Design: A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked.
Grace is like, you're only up to the second one. Yes, we are.
That's because we were waiting for you, Grace.
We're waiting for ABCDE.
We were waiting for,
Well, we had to establish, so.
Yeah, hasn't it been 24 minutes already? Yeah, we were doing an intro. We don't just dive straight into the first award in the first minute, Yes. All of us have gone with the same one here. So costume design. A Complete Unknown. I don't understand why that one was nominated. I didn't think. I get it's a period piece, but I don't think the costumes were anything outstanding. To write home about. Conclave, that's understood why that one is nominated. Same with Gladiator 2, completely understood why that one is nominated. Nosferatu, yes, again. But I think the costumes in Wicked are stunning. And I think this is going to be an award that Wicked takes home quite easily. I think that one's probably a lock. There's a lot of hype around the costume design in Wicked, and I think all of us have gone for it. So that would be a shock if Wicked doesn't take this one.
I mean, it was quite cheap on their part. They just brought it over from the West End Theatre.
I actually saw the documentary on it, and they really did put a lot into it. So, but I think this is the only category that everyone picked the same thing. I think literally, I'm looking, right, Adam?
Yeah. Yes, I think that's the only one that everyone's on the same thing.
Anything.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that one's a lock. We've all gone with it. There's nothing more to say, I guess. Yeah. Unless you guys have anything to add, feel free. Don't let me do all the talking.
I agree with you. There's not much to say.
There's a reason why social media people are dressing up as all these characters, because the costume designs are so good. So
yeah,
for sure.
Social media speaks for itself.
Yeah. Like we say, there could be an upset there, but I think that's going to go to Wicked. Yep. Okay. The third one. See, Grace, we're moving on.
Here are the nominees for achievement in makeup and hairstyling. A Different Man, Emilia Perez, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked.
Go for it, Adam.
Now, this one I'm not sure is a lock. This one I don't think is a lock. Welcome in, Jim. More sunshine, please.
Hey, Jim.
Jim is in the chat. Jim has also sent his picks in. We've got them locked in. Yeah, makeup and hairstyling. I don't think this one is necessarily a lock.
No.
I have it's interesting that our picks are torn between two. So in equal part, half of us have gone for The Substance, half of us have gone for Wicked. I don't necessarily think Wicked's makeup and hairstyling was something to shout home about. It was good, but is it an Oscar winner? Not in my mind. I thought Nosferatu's makeup was quite good for the lead character. A Different Man, good makeup in the start of that as well, with Sebastian Stan's character. Emilia Perez, again, I don't know why that one was nominated in this particular category.
They needed just an also ran.
Yeah, that's just an also ran in my opinion. But yeah, most of the votes have gone, like I say, between The Substance and Wicked. I think The Substance will take this personally.
I think so too. Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I mean the makeup in The Substance is disgusting.
Oh my
Brilliant.
God! Adam watched it the other night, and his reactions in our private chat where we talk about everything. It's just
it's ridiculous, but it's brilliant at the same time. So yeah, I'll be surprised if The Substance doesn't win. But like I say, that there's a few. I don't think this one's necessarily a lock. So it's not to say this is my opinion, and that
I agree with you.
Yeah, I know you agree, and I know Dan has also gone with The Substance as well. However, I know that Grace is always really good with her picks, and Grace has gone with Wicked, as has Noah, Jim, Ray, Nick, Pam. They've all gone with Wicked. So let's see. We'll be watching that one with interest. The next one, I think. Here are the nominees for Achievement in Music, Best Original Score. The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. Okay, so the next one, the original score. Our picks have been divided between three of the pictures here. So so some of us have gone with The Brutalist, some of us have gone with Conclave, some of us have gone with Wicked. I was surprised to see Wicked in the nominations originally because I didn't expect it to have an original score, with it being the soundtrack of a West End musical or a Broadway musical. But no, they did actually factor in their own score for this as well. Yeah, Grace, sorry, I'm just looking at Grace's comment. Come on, Adam, it's rare you get one wrong and the rest of us get it right. La 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 la. It's not unheard of though, Grace. It's not unheard of. So if you get one wrong, we're all getting it wrong. I don't know. There's one or two that I was unsure about this year, and we'll get to those, I guess.
You say that every year.
Yeah. It's interesting that Rob, Dan, and myself, we've all gone with The Brutalist. Brandon has gone with Wicked. Grace has gone with Conclave. Noah has gone with Wicked. Jim has gone with Conclave. Ray, Nick, and Pam have gone with Wicked. And then Kimmy and Chris have gone with The Brutalist.
You know what? I read that people might be confused with the songs as the score, so that might help. But who knows? Just kind of funny though. But
yeah, JC has gone with original score, The Brutalist as well. So yeah. I don't think it's a lock. This one will be interesting.
We'll see. Yeah.
We'll see. But then we have two categories that they're wide open races. The next two categories, none of us really know. This could be, these are the ones that ruin everyone's ballot every year. Let's go.
Here are the nominees for Best Live Action Short Film: Alien, Anuja, I'm Not a Robot, The Last Ranger, and The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent.
Okay, this is the first category where I think I'm right in saying across our ballot with all of the votes in, someone has picked one of each of them. So all 5 of them have been picked by at least one of us.
It is all crazy.
And you know what? The more I've watched, because I have seen all 5 in this category.
It's crazy you did, and I've seen 3 of them. So believe it or not,
I've seen all 5.
See what I do there. I watch the short ones, and it seems more impressive.
It's crazy because the more I watch them, as I watched each one, that's the one where my head went, like, you know, where I was like, okay, now this one's going to win it. So the first one I watched was I'm Not a Robot, which Brandon's gone with and Nick's gone with. I thought it was really good. A little strange, but really good fun. Then I watched Anuja, and I know Noah's gone with that one. And I thought Anuja
what's that one about? I don't even know. Well, we can't get into this now.
Anuja is I'll quickly summarize it. Anuja it follows 2 sisters in India working in a factory shop. One of them, the younger one, is like really clever, and she's being encouraged to go and take this test and can go to school where she can, like, you know, go to a school where she can, you know, pave the way for a really good future for herself. But at the same time, she kind of is working in this child labor sort of material shop, and the boss there is insisting that she actually goes to work and not to this thing, otherwise her sister will be sacked. And so it's a bit of a, you know, a dilemma kind of piece. Then I watched The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent. I thought that was really, really good, really powerful. You watched that one as well, Rob?
I did, yeah.
Then I watched Alien and thought that was even more powerful and kind of prevalent to things that are going on right now without getting too political, but and then I watched The Last Ranger and thought that was even more powerful. So I don't know what's going to win this. I think any of them could take it, really. I know there's a lot of hype and buzz around Anuja. I know there's a lot of hype and buzz around The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent, around Alien, and around The Last Ranger as well. I went with The Last Ranger.
So
Rob went with The Last Ranger. Yeah, Dan's gone with Alien, which is not a bad shout at all. Brandon's gone with I'm Not a Robot, and then, like I say, between the rest of us, the votes are all spread around all of them. So yeah, that'll be an interesting one. As Grace said, these are always guesses. Yeah, absolutely.
These ones make all the difference because for example, we all had the same other picks, and you guys went for that pick, and I went for Alien. That could potentially win either me the game or you guys the game. It's such an open-ended choice. So you just don't know.
Yeah, like I say, these are the ones that can always absolutely destroy or make your ballot. So but it's a stab in the dark. There's an 80% chance you get it wrong. So yeah. The same goes for the next category after that. Here are the nominees for Best Animated Short Film: Beautiful Men, In the Shadow of the Cypress, Magic Candies, Wonder to Wonder, and Yuck.
Great name.
I just picked it because it was Yuck. So it's kind of, in years past, we pick, if we have no clue, we just go for the Yuck.
See, I chose Magic Candies because that's what we had at university.
It's interesting that, again, this category, we've picked one of all 5 of them between us. So all 5 of them have nods. I have seen all of them bar one in this category. I didn't get to see Magic Candies. However, there is a lot of hype and buzz around that, and I know that's the one that you went with, Dan. So you're possibly onto a good shout there. Beautiful Men was quite a nice story. In the Shadow of the Cypress, I know that one's actually got a lot of love from our voters this year, from Noah, from Jim, from Nick, and from Pam. It was an interesting story in the Shadow of the Cypress. It was okay. It wasn't my favorite. Wonder to Wonder was a very interesting one. Ray and Kimmy have gone with that one. It should be said, you know, not just with this animated short, but also animated feature and some of the best picture ones. There's a lot of mature content this year. That's all I will say.
Sure is.
With Beautiful Men and Wonder to Wonder,
I saw the trailer for
mature content this year.
I saw the trailer for Beautiful Men. There's naked men in it.
Yeah. Because obviously, what's more beautiful than... No, actually, no. I'd be absolutely lying. Yeah.
According to the filmmaker, that's what's more.
Yeah, Yuck. Which takes me to the last one, Yuck. Actually, Yuck was quite a cute story. I did enjoy Yuck, and that's the one I've gone with. As has Rob, as has Brandon, as has Grace. But yeah, again, like I say, between all of us, we've picked one of all five of those, so it's anyone's guess, really.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lock in there. So
except mine.
Wonder to Wonder, I think, took the BAFTA. So
yeah, but what do they know?
Here are the nominees for Best Adapted Screenplay: A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Emilia Perez, Nickel Boys, and Sing Sing.
Best adapted screenplay, writing.
Crazy.
This one, in fact, again, we've picked all five of them here between all of us, so that's interesting. So yeah, A Complete Unknown was a really good story. Conclave has got a lot of hype around it. Emilia Perez, okay, I can understand why it's in there. Obviously, it's the most nominated film of the year. Nickel Boys, I thought was actually really good. Had a lot of promise about it. I'm not sure if the execution was brilliant, but that's not to take away from the writing of it. And Sing Sing was really good as well. And like I say, all of us have gone with at least one of them. So Grace has gone with Sing Sing. Brandon has gone with Nickel Boys. The three of us have gone with Conclave. Jim has gone with A Complete Unknown, as has Pam and Chris. Conclave, Nick and Kimmy have gone with Conclave as well. And then Emilia Perez, Noah and Ray have both gone with that. So I don't think that's a lock, that one. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it's either going to... what do you think? Some years it's like a landslide towards a movie.
Yeah,
some years it's been sporadic, and to me, the last few years have been sporadic. But that's me. I don't know. What are you thinking?
I've gone with Conclave. I think the one that's going to challenge
I'm just saying in general, not just this category. I'm saying.
And what do you mean?
Do you think it's going to be all over the place, or it's going to be a landslide towards one?
I think I think it's going to be all over the place. I think this year will be all over the place. Yeah. For this category, I think it's going to be between Conclave and A Complete Unknown.
Yeah, I pick Conclave. And
yeah,
it's there's we'll get to this, but I don't know. I have no clue who's going to win. I really don't. Like some years I kind of get a hint, but like one award show went to this, one award show went to that.
Exactly.
Perez has a lot of nominations, but then it's got the sourness of the controversy, so it's difficult. I have no.
And while we're talking about obviously the writing awards, this one I think is a 2-horse race between Conclave and A Complete Unknown. The original screenplay, which we'll do next, I think is a 3-horse race, and I think any of the three of them could win it. So yeah, it makes it very interesting. This year is tight, as says JC. Yeah, absolutely. Here are the nominees for Best Original Screenplay: Anora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, September 5, and The Substance. I think it's a shame that this is the only nomination for September 5, because I actually really liked that movie. It's really fascinating, but none of us have picked that one, I don't think.
No.
This one is torn between Anora, The Brutalist, and A Real Pain. And I think all three of them have won awards this season as well, which makes it a wide open race. I think most of us have voted between those three. Pam has gone with The Substance. Again, a fantastic story. And in another year, I think it could have been in the running for this, but I just think the competition from Anora, The Brutalist, and Real Pain are just too strong. And like I say, Anora has won this award. I believe The Brutalist has won this award, and then Jesse Eisenberg has also won this award as well at the BAFTA. So I think this one is a 3-horse race and is definitely not a lock.
Yeah, like a lot of people I was doing my research. A lot of people love Nora across the board with a lot of stuff. So I put The Brutalist. I don't know. It just, is it the year that people love long movies? Is it a year where people don't want a 3.5-hour movie with an intermission in the middle of the movie? But I don't know. We will see. So it's so unpredictable. What, Dan?
Who voted for what?
So Dan and I have gone with Anora. Rob has gone with The Brutalist.
Ooh.
Brandon has gone with A Real Pain. Grace and Noah have gone with The Brutalist. Jim has gone with A Real Pain. JC has just put in the chat that he went with Anora here as well. Ray and Nick have gone with The Brutalist. Pam, like I said, has gone with The Substance. Kimmy has gone with Anora, and
It's all over the place.
Chris has gone with The Brutalist. Yeah, so we are out.
I'm just keeping
literally
track.
all over the place here.
Just out of between the three. Just between
Dan,
the three.
in our chat, I sent you the spreadsheet. You were added to that a while ago. But if you want to click that link open, you can
I saw that. I was just having a look, and just the ones out of all the three of us so far, except for me and the short films, we all picked the same, apart from now when Rob chose The Brutalist. So it's the gap between what we picked is now widening, which makes things even more interesting. Which means I don't think there will be a joint winner this year.
You never know.
I think
sorry, what?
I was just going to say, was last year the first joint winner, but it wasn't, because there was the year that Grace and Kimmy joint won as well, didn't they? So
yes. Yeah, we're moving on. The big
one.
Go
on,
here,
Rob. Play the next one.
Here are the nominees for performance by an actress in a supporting role. Monica Barbaro for A Complete Unknown. Ariana Grande for Wicked. Felicity Jones for The Brutalist. Isabella Rossellini for Conclave. And Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez.
Our votes have been split between two here. What surprises me is not many people have, well, in fact, nobody in our lot. In fact, who's JC gone with? I want to see who JC's gone with first. But nobody has gone with Monica Barbaro for A Complete Unknown. Which
she plays.
I think hers was the kind of shock inclusion. I thought her performance was good. But I just don't think, okay, so JC's gone with Zoe Saldana there. Nobody went with Felicity Jones for The Brutalist either. Her performance was really good, actually. And surprisingly, nobody's gone with Isabella Rossellini, who has actually got a lot of hype. When you listen to the buzz, there's a lot of people actually bigging up Isabella Rossellini's performance and think she could be the biggest challenger to Zoe Saldana. However, on our vote, quite a few people have gone with Ariana Grande from Wicked, whose performance I will say was stunning as well. I thought Ariana Grande's performance was really, really good.
She was perfect for Glinda.
For Glinda. So Brandon has gone with Ariana Grande. Noah has. Nick has. Pam has. Pam is a huge Wicked fan. I'm not surprised there. However, the remainders of us have all gone with Zoe Saldana. And again, like I was saying earlier about Kieran Culkin, Zoe has again won the Golden Globe, the Critics' Choice, the BAFTA, and the SAG Award. So I'd be surprised if Zoe Saldana didn't take this one.
We'll see. I'm excited. This is a big one.
We'll see. The three of us have gone with that.
I think Zoe won so many different awards. That's why I went with her. So
yeah.
We'll
Again, Yeah, we'll see. Next one.
Here are the nominees for Achievement in Music Original Song. El Mal from Emilia Perez. The Journey from the 6888. Like a Bird from Sing Sing. Mi Camino from Emilia Perez. Never Too Late from Elton John, Never Too Late.
So original song, I think our vote is spread across 4 of them here, depending on what JC's gone with. He says no Bond film this year. Yeah, yeah. I'm intrigued to know what JC's gone with here. But yes,
We're setting his picks, but he picked Elma.
he picked El Mal. Okay, that's fine. So El Mal. That means 6 of us have gone with El Mal. 2 have gone with the Diane Warren song from the 6888, The Journey, which is actually getting a lot of buzz and hype, and I think there's a bit of a push for that one. I think a lot of people want Diane Warren to actually finally win it, and I'd be over the moon if she did.
This is the Pub Talk favorite story, by the way. So.
Yeah. I just love, like, this is what, her 8th nomination in a row, her 16th total career nomination. She's yet to win one. So
it's the Leonardo DiCaprio Revenant story.
Yeah. It would be. I would be over the moon if I got this one wrong, and if Diane Warren won it. None of us went with Sing Sing.
Her house burnt down. You think they're going to show her mercy?
Yeah. Maybe. Dan's gone with that one. Grace has gone with that one as well. A couple of people have gone with Mi Camino as well. Like 3 people have gone with Mi Camino, also from Emilia Perez. Emilia Perez nominated twice in this category, meaning it could only win 12 out of its 13 awards anyway.
So the problem wait, hold on a sec. The problem with Diane Warren's songs, like, never heard of the 6666 or
6888.
I can't even say
it's a good film. I really enjoyed that film.
Good, yeah. I never heard of it. Though, so.
And the same with, she was nominated last year for original song for the film Flaming Hot, and it was the only nomination that Flaming Hot got. And again, it was brilliant. There was a film last year called Flaming Hot, and it was superb. I really enjoyed that film. And again, it was only nominated for song. And I think 4 Good Days was a Diane Warren song as well. Again, only nominated for song. A great film. So
that's what I mean. She only produces songs for films that no one's ever heard of.
Well, yeah, but it doesn't make the song no good.
No, it's true.
She's really talented.
Just come out with an album rather than stick it with a movie.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe, but there isn't an Oscar for best album, so she'd be whoa. Rob, I'm going to take the controls off you because you're skipping ahead too far. Yeah, I hadn't finished talking about that category because a few people had gone with Elton John as well. So,
okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Jim and Pam have gone with Elton John. So, and yeah, also, he's won Oscars in the past, I believe. So yeah, go on, Rob. Now you can do it.
I'm laughing over here. Sorry.
Here are the nominees for Best Documentary Feature Film. Black Box Diaries. No Other Land. Porcelain War. Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat. And Sugarcane.
Sugarcane. By the way, Adam made all these graphics and stuff, and the voiceover. You made the voiceovers, and we overlaid the existing stuff. But great job, by the way.
Thanks,
and of course, Kimmy, my favorite voiceover artist of all time.
Yeah, me too.
Kimmy is the star for that.
Thank you.
So guys. Yeah. This is another category where we've all picked one of each of them. So
no one knows what any of this stuff is. Like
No,
again, I tried looking for this stuff. You can't even find this stuff. So
well, Black Box Diaries was on. Was it on Netflix or it was on? It was on, or was it on Paramount Plus? I can't remember. It was on one of the streaming sites.
two.
It was actually a really good documentary, Black Box Diaries. I thought that was really really strong. I watched Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat as well. So Kimmy's gone with Black Box Diaries. Noah and Jim have gone with Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat. Chris has gone with Sugarcane. I don't know what JC's gone with here, but I think the smart money is kind of torn between No Other Land, which is about the Israel Gaza war, and Porcelain War, which is about Ukraine. So yeah, two obviously very hot topics still. So so yeah, I think it's a 2-horse race between those ones. I don't know which one will win. I think it's a toss of a coin between those two. Is my honest opinion.
Okay. Moving on.
I mean, yeah. Oh, this is interesting. I've gone with Porcelain. You guys have both gone with No Other Land. So JC has gone with Porcelain.
I just kind of looked and saw what the hype was, and I have no clue what this stuff. So, and again, it's like throwing a dart on the board sometimes.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Moving on.
We all don't see 50 movies like Adam, whatever. Sorry. I love that you do it, though. So I admire you do it. But okay, here we go. Number 12.
Here are the nominees for Best Documentary Short. Death by Numbers. I Am Ready, Warden. Incident. Instruments of a Beating Heart. The Only Girl in the Orchestra.
I'm trying to find my favorite Kimmy voice thing, but I can't find it.
I know exactly what you're looking for.
Okay, guys, sorry. I'll save it.
Yeah, I think this one could go to any. I don't know if there's a particular strong runner here. Again, we've gone with different picks. So I went with I Am Ready, Warden. You guys went with Incident, which I think was a really, really good piece as well.
I've seen 2 of them, so
Instruments of a Beating Heart was really cute. Really enjoyed that one. The Only Girl in the Orchestra was on Netflix, so I've seen that one as well. The only one I didn't see was Death by Numbers, actually, so I saw the other 4. And interestingly, Death by Numbers is the only one that none of us have picked that I'm aware of. I don't know what JC went with here. JC went with I Am Ready, Warden. Yeah, that's what I went with. You guys went with Incident. Ray went with I Am Ready, Warden as well. Most people, I think, went with Incident. Grace did. Nick did, Pam did. Like I say, The Only Girl in the Orchestra, Kimmy and Jim went with that, and Instruments of a Beating Heart was Brandon, Noah, and Chris.
Well, I saw Incident and Only Girl in the Orchestra, and I didn't really like Only Girl in the Orchestra. Incident, it's not a likable situation. It was intense. It was
very intense, yeah.
Police shooting someone, and it was like the actual footage of it. It's intense, but if you want to see
it was the way they kind of it was how they kind of tried to cover that up as well at the same time, and and actually what the camera shows what really happened versus the police's take on it. And I don't know if that was just a distorted view in the heat of the moment, or if they were it was really quite interesting. So it's quite a fascinating documentary to watch.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The next one I think is probably a 2-horse race, although we've gone with between us 3 picks. Okay, let's go.
This category we'll talk about. It's very interesting, so we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Here are the nominees for Best International Feature Film. I'm Still Here, Brazil. The Girl with the Needle, Denmark. Emilia Perez, France. The Seed of the Sacred Fig, Germany. And Flow, Latvia.
See, I gotta admit, this is why I love Kimmy. She could make the girl with the needle sound like a nice thing, you know. So I don't know. She's awesome.
I did actually try to watch The Girl with the Needle because I found that was available on streaming, but I just didn't have time. It was I kind of decided between that or a one of the Best Picture ones. So I kind of
You had a go at me for
Welcome in,
saying
Michelle.
I didn't have time. You had a whole thing with me saying, "Oh, I didn't have time," and then you've just said I did not have time. I'm disappointed.
I mean, I've kind of watched, about 40 more films.
He's kicked ass, man. You can't. He'll get there.
So
hey,
see how many you can watch in the next 48 hours before the Oscars done.
Adam, like, would you say maybe 5 or 6 aren't available? Like, pretty much, or
there's a few that are. There's 5 or 6 that are not available.
Is your goal to see all of them before Sunday, or?
Well, I'm not going to be able to because, like I say, a few of them just.
Obviously,
as always happens,
see,
like of the ones that I can see, I'll watch as many as I can. Yeah, absolutely. There's typically there's a few that don't tend to get released until after the Oscars, which is always frustrating. There has been exceptions to that rule, and that was obviously during the pandemic when pretty much everything was made available on streaming. Sure. Which was great because nobody could go to cinemas or anything like that. But yeah, I think this one's a really interesting race in that I think Amelia Perez was an absolute lock at one point, and I don't think it is anymore. And that's because there's been controversy surrounding this film. So
again, 13 nominations, the most nominated. So
the most nominated, yeah. I'm interested to know what JC's gone with here. But yeah, most of us have gone with Amelia Perez still. Pam has gone with Flow from Latvia, and Flow was actually a beautiful animated film. Yeah, I really enjoyed that one. JC has gone with I'm Still Here, which okay.
See, that one's just not available. Like, I don't even think it's playing in theaters. It has to be playing in the theaters.
No, I'm Still Here is the one Best Picture film that has not been available yet anywhere. Like, and it's not getting released until after the Oscars, which is frustrating because it's a Best Picture one as well. So but
see, here we go. There's 2 Best Pictures in this category, and there's an animated movie in this category. So usually, I'll be honest with you, that like the international films are always like a throwaway. Like, I've never heard of them, never gonna see it. But like literally 3 of the 5 here are either and they're nominated in different categories: 2 Best Picture and 1 in the animations. I did see Flow, by the way. It's really good.
And they're the 3 ones that we've all gone with. So nobody's gone with The Girl with the Needle from Denmark. Nobody's gone with The Seed of the Sacred Fig. I'm surprised. I'm surprised Kimmy didn't go with that as it's German. Kimmy does love the German films. But yeah, I'm Still Here. 5 of us have gone with that. Amelia Perez, 7 of us have gone with that, and 1 of us have gone with Flow. So
I think it's going to win because I don't think it's going to win. There's no chance to win Best Picture, but you never know in the Oscar wacky world. But they're going to give it something, and I think that's what they're going to give it. But
you've gone with Amelia Perez still, and it wouldn't surprise me for Amelia Perez to win it, but I just think obviously. I think I'm Still Here is on a bit of an upward trajectory. It's having a bit of a surge, so that's why I went with that one. But this one was one of those that I couldn't call it. I've just had to pick one. Brandon, fantastic film. I see them giving Amelia Perez one thing. So yeah, Brandon, I think Brandon has gone with Amelia Perez as well. Dan and I have gone with I'm Still Here. Yeah. This one I think will be a really, really interesting category, and I can't call it. I think it's a 50-50 split between those 2. Although I wouldn't be disappointed if Flow won it. I really wouldn't, because it was a great film.
Flow is interesting, yeah. Not one word spoken in Flow because it's about animals. So, and they're
that's right.
They're not like animals. So.
No dialogue at all. Yep. Okay, next category.
This one's going to be interesting. So.
Here are the nominees for Best Animated Feature Film. Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and The Wild Robot.
So,
Finally, the two movies that I've actually seen.
the two movies that you've actually seen, which ones? Wallace and Gromit and Inside Out 2? Or
Yeah, good guess.
Yeah. I have seen all of these. So Flow obviously was nominated for Best International Feature and is nominated for Best Animated Feature. That's only the second movie in Academy Awards history to achieve that feat. The other one being Denmark's Flea in, was it 3 years ago, I think, 2022? I think Flea was nominated for animated and international feature. But yeah, so Flow has achieved that feat as well. Our voting is split between 3 films here. So Noah went with Flow. I'm not sure what JC's gone with actually yet.
JC's
Brandon...
Wild Robot.
Okay, so Inside Out 2, Pam and Chris have both gone with that. I will say Inside Out 2 was slightly better than Inside Out, the first one, as I remember it.
Not a fan.
I agree.
I still wasn't massively a fan. It was still irritating. I mean, Ebony watched some of it with me, and she said it just got so cringy that she had to walk out there. She literally, she found that teenage cringe going on as to what anxiety and the other new characters, whatever they were called, were making her do. And one
of them was Disney thing.
And Ebony was just kind of like, I can't watch this anymore. I think it hit a little bit too close to home for a teenage girl. So so she walked out. But yeah, I think the smart money is on the Wild Robot. I think everyone's hyping that one up, and it seems to
I
have done
love
really
Wild
well
Robot. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I loved it. But
Memoir of a Snail.
Flow's won some awards, and that's kind of like, it feels like an Oscar kind of winner. I don't know, because in years past they give it to more artsy films and stuff.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And I wouldn't be disappointed if Flow won it again. Memoir of a Snail was a very, very funny, very mature orientated film. Again, and Wallace and Gromit. Love Wallace and Gromit. I wouldn't be disappointed if that won it as well.
Because
Dan told me
it's not winning. It's not winning, but it is.
Dan said I got to watch the short first, and then I got to watch the movie, and we did that, and my kids loved it. We loved it. It was such. Thank you, Adam, for that. It was great. So
thing is with Wallace and Gromit, I'm a big Wallace and Gromit fan, but it's probably the second worst, in my opinion, Wallace and Gromit film. I could think of 3 that are better, and I just didn't think it was as good as the others.
So, is it still stop motion, or they animated like stop motion?
Still stop
motion. Yeah. They are really, really clever though. They're so well thought out. Yeah,
but that it's not going to win.
No, I think the Wild Robot has got this. I think that one is. I'd be surprised if it didn't win it. So.
Where used to be all Disney used to win it all the time, but not lately. So
this is true. So the next category, most of us have gone with the same thing, bar one of us. So let's go into the next category.
Here are the nominees for achievement in production design: The Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked.
Achievement in production design. Only Ray that I'm aware of has gone with a different answer to the rest of us. Again, I'm waiting to see JC's answer in this one, but the Brutalist production design I thought was good. Dune Part 2's was good. Nosferatu's, I think all of them were worthy nominees here. But Ray went with Conclave. The rest of us, including JC there, have all gone for Wicked. Yeah, Wicked wins it for immersiveness of the world, but it won't surprise me if the Brutalist takes it. It's deserving too. Do you know what? I think, like I say, all 5 of them are worthy nominees here. And in other years, I think, the Brutalist could have won it. I think Dune could have won it. I think Nosferatu could have won it. Conclave could have won it. But I think Wicked, for that immersive world that JC's just said, will take it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't disagree at all with you. So, like, again, across the board, Wicked. Like, Wicked I thought was great. Probably one of my favorite movies of the year out of this list. Adam always laughs at me. I guess I'm getting old. I guess I'm getting bitter. I don't know what the deal is, but I did not like most of these movies this year. Wicked, we all went to the theater. It was really good. I think it's kind of hurting it because and they hid this really well, in my opinion, because I literally found out the day before that it was a part 1 movie. I didn't know until literally the day before we went to see that movie. So I'm like, you got to be kidding me. It's a part 1 movie. So a lot of people feel a part 1 movie, part 2 movie, it hurts the award things. But I think it just looks stunning. It looks really cool, especially you see the documentary and see how they did stuff. And I think it's gonna win some minor stuff. It's gonna win this, I feel, too. So I think it's a deadlock. But who knows? I don't know. We'll see. It's a shame because it was such a fun movie. So I've seen. I know a few people.
I know a few people who went to the cinema not knowing at all, and they found out when the credits rolled and it said part 1, and they were like, "Oh, is this?" They weren't sure if it, a bit like The Brutalist, has like the the part 1 and then act 2 kind of with the intermission. They weren't sure if it was going to be like that, and then a bit like the stage show. But then obviously the film like ended, and they were like, I think my niece even said, like, my niece wasn't aware. And I think she said she realized they were like over 2 hours through when one of the songs came in. She thought, they're going to really rush the end of this film. And then obviously it ended and she was like, oh, okay, fine. so yeah,
I hate when they do that. I really don't like it, but whatever.
Yeah,
it is what
I think the next film's due out this year as well. So expect to see Wicked nominated for a bunch of Oscars again this time next year. So, but yeah, I think Wicked will take production design here.
It's funny. I saw the play, but it was so long ago. I don't remember how it ends. So I guess I'm excited.
So stay tuned for the movie next year. Then
stay tuned. So
okay, the next category.
Here are the nominees for achievement in film editing: Anora, The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez, and Wicked.
And possibly in keeping with the fact that this year there is a lot of more wide open races than normal, a lot fewer locks. This is another category where between all of us that have sent our picks in, we have all picked a different film so far. So Brandon has gone with Anora. Let's have a look. Okay, JC has just sent his through now. Okay, so I can say that myself, Dan, Rob, JC, Grace, and Nick have all gone for Conclave. Ray and Kimmy have gone for The Brutalist. Noah has gone for Emilia Perez, and Jim, Pam, and Chris have gone for Wicked. So
Pam has gone for Wicked across the boards. Let's put it that way.
Pam loves Wicked, so like that's absolutely
She's
fine.
seen it at least 2 or 3 times, right?
And it's arguably the biggest movie of the year.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Maybe not the biggest technical movie, because Dune Part 2 will give that a run for its money, but certainly the biggest blockbuster. Wicked takes that. So that's why there was a lot of love for Barbie last year as well. It was such a huge blockbuster. But yeah, so yeah, there we go. Editing, it could go any way. Most of us seem to have gone with Conclave.
Yeah.
But Anora's editing is good as well. In fact, editing is decent in all of these films. So I will say that, editing in musicals is part and parcel of it because of the sound and everything like that, which makes me surprised that A Complete Unknown wasn't in this category, but it is in the next category.
I don't know. Complete Unknown is just, I don't know. It did, to me, the hype was so. By the way, I wanted to see the 2024 box office. Inside Out, 1.6 billion, I guess. Deadpool, 1.3. Moana 2, 1.1 billion. Despicable Me, Wicked was 5th. So Dune was it's funny because I keep saying to Adam, Dune really didn't get much hype talk wise, but that was 6. But yeah, necessarily, if a movie does great at the box office, doesn't mean it's going to win or it gets nominated. So.
Yeah, I mean, the Golden Globes does that ridiculous thing with the that stupid award that
I know you hate that award.
It's a stupid award. The Oscars tried to bring it in a few years ago. The popular box office movie. It's not a good award to have. Like, I know you were like, "Oh, I love this category." It's like, no, it doesn't.
It doesn't
honor. Yeah, it doesn't honor filmmaking. It just says, "Well done, you found a script that's got a ready-made fan base." Like, like Wicked was exactly that because it was taken from a Broadway show. So
sure.
so it was already got
Popular.
it was naturally going to be a popular.
Gotta be popular.
Yeah, it was going to be popular. Yeah, absolutely.
That was my best.
And Barbie, obviously, it felt like an award just to make sure Barbie won something last year. It was, it's not anything that honors the craft and the art of filmmaking. So no, that's why I dislike that award, and I'm glad the Oscars didn't bring it in.
Oh, for sure.
So,
moving on.
Yeah.
Here are the nominees for Achievement in Sound. A Complete Unknown, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot.
Yeah, movies like this always go,
I mean,
towards big
four of the nominees here are no surprise. I don't understand why The Wild Robot is in this category. I don't think it had any superior sound to the other animated films. So I don't understand why The Wild Robot has a nomination for Achievement in Sound here. The 3 of them are musicals. Complete Unknown obviously has music heavily featured at its core. Emilia Perez and Wicked are musicals. So musicals traditionally do really well in this category. However, as a technical award as well, Dune Part 2 has that kind of epic sound, a bit like Oppenheimer had, and a bit like we were expecting Oppenheimer to win for last year, although it was probably rightly beaten by The Zone of Interest and the actual really clever sound design that The Zone of Interest had last year. I think the epic sound of Dune Part 2 will probably take it this year. That being said, shouldn't be discounted that Wicked had a superb sound for its audio soundtrack. For a musical, I was really disappointed with Emilia Perez's sound. I thought it didn't sound like a musical for the first half of the film.
I was going to go watch it. Adam's like, yeah, it's a musical, but it's a musical when it's like convenient and when it wants to be. And you were so right about that. I was like, oof.
Yeah, it's bizarre. It gets
bizarre.
more and more musical as the film goes along. But yeah, A Complete Unknown. Kimmy went with that one, and the sound is good in that one as well. It should be said. So yeah, Complete Unknown is Kimmy's one. Half of us have gone with Dune Part 2, and half of us have gone with Wicked. So yeah, I'm not sure. I don't get JC's last message. Emilia for Dune, hands down. Emilia for Dune.
Well, he'll re-put it in the chat there.
Yeah.
JC.
Let's move on.
I like that.
Here are the nominees for Achievement in Visual Effects. Alien Romulus, Better Man, Dune Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked.
How many Aliens movies are there? I don't even know. 6?
I'm not sure. This should probably be your favorite category, Rob, because this is
1, 2, 3, 4.
I usually do like visual effects.
Prometheus, Alien Covenant,
Alien Predator twice.
9.
Yeah.
Wow, it's crazy. Okay.
Okay,
That's
so
not-
JC's gone with Amelia Perez sound, which means, sorry, just going back to sound. Yeah. Okay, so we've picked 4 out of those 5 in sound. Then JC's gone with Amelia Perez. Okay, sorry. So 9, did you say, Dan?
9 Alien movies, but that's not including any sort of spin-offs like
yeah.
Alien versus Jaws.
Oh well, okay.
Alien versus Jaws.
What about the that other movie that was named different? I forget.
Well, no, there's Alien 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's all right. I was just curious.
Prometheus, Alien
That
Covenant,
Prometheus,
Alien
that's what I was
Romulus, and then you've got the Alien
Alien
versus
Predators.
Predator. So that's 9.
Okay.
9. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, like I was saying, Rob, I think this is probably your favorite category, surely, because this is the one where you get to watch films that are possibly a bit more commercially sort of known, commercially successful, commercially viable, not the lower budget independents necessarily, save for last year's winner, which was the Godzilla one.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, I think most of us have gone with Dune Part 2. None of us have gone with Alien Romulus. None of us have gone with Better Man, which is the Robbie Williams biopic as a monkey, which was weird and sounded horrendous, but actually I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. I will say that. Yeah, most of us have gone with Dune Part 2. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, another monkey film. Nick went with, and Wicked, good VFX. Noah and Pam went with that one. So yeah, but I think the rest of us have gone with Dune Part 2.
Yeah, I think Dune's going to take those.
Yeah.
I was trying to look back and see what Dune 1 won, but
Dune
2 things.
Part 1.
Dune did win quite a few technical awards, so that's why I think Dune Part 2 is going to do it as well. Annette says no interest in Robbie Williams for me. I'm not a fan of Robbie Williams, Annette, but I just enjoyed that film more than I thought I would.
CGI monkey playing Robbie Williams. Yeah, it's interesting. Which it's weird. They promoted that movie around Christmas time. I had no clue what the hell that movie was. I saw like a monkey running around and like no mention of Robbie. It was just bizarre. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Move on.
So JC has said Dune 2, and then he said Kingdom of the Apes wins it for being. So which one have you gone for, JC? Which one do you want me to put in for you? I guess you've already sent it out. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
that's
don't
fine.
worry
That's
about
fine.
it.
I'll add it at the end. Okay. Next one then. Cinematography.
Am I on cinematography? Nope. So I'm on 19, I believe. Sorry. Cinematography. 19 categories already. Good job, Adam.
Here are the nominees for achievement in cinematography. The Brutalist, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu.
For some reason, every time I hear Nosferatu, I think of Despacito. So when I sing Nosferatu to Despacito, I have no clue why. So
I just think of Christopher Lee.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, this one I think I think was a 3-horse race, and it's interesting that all 3 have been picked by us. Nobody's gone with Amelia Perez, and nobody's gone with Maria, which, I watched both of those. I don't understand why they were nominated for cinematography.
Filler again.
Nosferatu, Nick and Kimmy have gone for that, and I thought the cinematography was stunning in that. Dune Part 2, Brandon and Noah and Pam have gone with Dune Part 2. Again, really good cinematography. But the rest of us have gone with The Brutalist, and I think The Brutalist will probably win it. Well, hence why I've gone with it. So, as all 3 of us have here.
Yeah,
so.
I went with The Brutalist. I don't. Brutalist is. I don't know. Steam, no Steam. It's just so. I don't know. I give up. I don't know. I throw the towel in. Hopefully, I don't know. I'm not really pulling for any movie, by the way, which is bizarre. Usually, I pull for a movie. Come Monday morning, my life will not change if whatever these movies win. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd like to have another statue, but we'll see.
It will be it'll be interesting. Like I don't think
Are
that
you
one's a
pulling
lock
for anything?
necessarily. No, not really. I
like, oh my
God, when we get to best picture,
win.
I'll tell you which ones I really liked.
Okay.
Obviously, I've mentioned others in other categories that maybe aren't in the best picture running.
Right, here comes the biggies.
Well, we got the big four, so here we go. The big four.
Dan, are you ready? I'm making sure. Dan, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Just making sure. Did you guys hear me during the clips?
Here are the nominees for performance by an actor in a leading role. Adrian Brody in The Brutalist. Timothée Chalamet in A Complete Unknown. Coleman Domingo in Sing Sing. Ralph Fiennes in Conclave. Sebastian Stan in The Apprentice.
Easy one.
I thought this was easy a week ago or 2 weeks ago. But...
I thought this one was heading for a lock, but then came the SAG Award, which threw the curveball, as it often does. So obviously, Adrian Brody had won the Golden Globe. Adrian Brody has
won an Oscar.
He has won an Oscar. Yes, in fact,
the youngest person to ever win an Oscar.
He was the youngest person at the age of 29 to win an Oscar for Best Actor. Yep. However, if Timothée Chalamet wins this year, he will beat Adrian Brody by a few months.
Yes.
So so that's an interesting little stat there. But yeah, they seem to be the two that are the main ones in the running. Nick's gone with Ralph Fiennes as well. I do think that it's a shame that Sebastian Stan doesn't have a lot of love here. Now, I know Donald Trump is a divisive character. I'm not going to get too into that. But I think Sebastian Stan's performance as Donald Trump, the mannerisms and everything like that, and it is an early, sort of 70s, 80s Donald Trump, but I think his performance was superb. It's a really, really good performance by both main actors, by Sebastian Stan as Donald Trump and by Jeremy Strong as Roy Cohn in that movie. Their performances are really, really good. Coleman Domingo is a really good actor as well. His performance in Sing Sing is great. But Adrian Brody, 5 of us have gone with Adrian Brody from The Brutalist. 6 of us have gone with Timothée Chalamet, obviously off the back of his SAG Award. 1 of us has gone with Ralph Fiennes. So it makes it interesting.
Because of I don't know. I don't know. Is it because of SAG Award? But I don't know. I was surprised. Chalamet. Sorry.
I was surprised, but also not. I thought Chalamet's performance was actually really good, and he put a lot of hard work into that. I think he spent 5 years learning to sing like Bob Dylan and play guitar. So that was.
I need a 2-second answer on this, Adam. I haven't seen one thing about Bob Dylan. Like, is it an official movie? Is he like involved in it? Was he supporting it? I haven't heard anything about Bob Dylan.
No idea.
It was a Bob Dylan movie. Yeah, it's weird. So
no idea.
I was just curious. We got to find that out. You find that out for next week.
I will try and find that out. So JC has gone with Brody there, I think. So yeah.
I think Brody won a lot of awards. Timothy only won like 1, like you said. So who knows? We'll see. That's just a throw.
So that means 6 of us have gone with Brody and 6 of us have gone with Chalamet. There we go.
Yeah.
So, torn. And the next category, not all of us have agreed on the next one either, which is makes it interesting. So, let's do the next one.
Here are the nominees for performance by an actress in a leading role: Cynthia Erivo for Wicked. Carla Sofia Gascon for Amelia Perez, Mikey Madison for Honora, Demi Moore for The Substance, and Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here.
Well, if Cynthia Erivo wins, it's an EGOT, right?
If Cynthia Erivo wins, it's an EGOT. Cynthia Erivo has also, with this nomination, become the first Black British actress to be nominated for 2 Oscars. So, So there's a nod there. Carla Sofia Gascon, I think, unfortunately, the controversy there has completely killed any chance she had. She's out of the running, I think.
So silly.
Now,
like she tweeted some stuff a while. I guess her tweets were pretty bad, but I guess it's not silly. But
yeah, it's a long time ago.
Like
it's a long time ago, but still,
no one picked her.
If you're going to be in the public, if you're going to be in the public spotlight, you need to watch how you conduct yourself, I guess. So, Nick and Pam went with Cynthia Erivo. Now, the next three, Mikey Madison, Demi Moore, and Fernanda Torres. None of us have gone with Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here, which is interesting, given that she did actually win the Golden Globe. Now, bearing in mind, the Golden Globe does have 2 acting awards. Fernanda Torres took 1, and there is a bit of hype and buzz around Fernanda Torres still. However, I think the main 2 are, between Demi Moore and Mikey Madison, who shocked everyone when she took the BAFTA. So, is this a lock? I don't think it's a lock necessarily. I say Grace put that she thinks this is a lock. I'm not sure it is. I think Demi Moore has obviously taken most of the awards this season, so the smart money would be on her. But I'm rooting. I've put Demi Moore as the person I think will win it. I'm actually rooting for Mikey Madison, though. I really enjoyed her performance in Honora. So, Brandon has gone with Mikey Madison. Jim has gone with Mikey Madison. Chris has gone with Mikey Madison. JC, he says I went Fernanda Torres. Okay, so JC has gone with Fernanda Torres. There we go. So JC has. Demi Moore. All 3 of us went with Demi Moore. Grace, Noah, Ray, and Kimmy. We've all gone with Demi Moore there. And it was a good performance. Is it the performance of the year? Debatable. Like I say, I would be
Debbie?
Demi Moore. Yeah, I'd be thrilled to see Mikey Madison win it. But yeah, I've gone with Demi Moore here.
I always liked her, so hopefully she can do it. So all I know is equally, I think Honora and The Substance, you back and forth telling me what you thought was pretty much equal. So
yeah, they were both great films. I really enjoyed both of those films. So
here we go.
Here are the nominees for achievement in directing. Sean Baker for Honora. Brady Corbet for The Brutalist. James Mangold for A Complete Unknown. Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez. And Coralie Fargeau for The Substance.
Now, this is a controversial one because the director of Conclave wasn't nominated.
Yeah, this was a massive snub. Edward Berger getting overlooked at Conclave.
I love that you know.
Yeah, that one surprised me. Yeah. This one, I mean, our vote.
Time out. Will that hurt Conclave from getting Best Picture? Not having the directing.
I mean, this is the thing. Like, historically, they always say that there are certain pictures that go hand in hand. Historically, they say that. It doesn't necessarily mean it's always the case. So they always say that directing, editing, and cinematography kind of go hand in hand with the Best Picture frontrunner. Now, obviously, if you remember when Power of the Dog was tipped to win the Best Picture award, Jane Campion won, one of only 3 female directors to win Best Director in Academy Awards 97-year history. 96 so far. This is the 97th. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Power of the Dog also possibly took home cinematography and editing. However, Coda won Best Picture that year. So it is, I don't think Conclave is completely out the running yet, and I'll get onto that when we discuss the Best Picture category. But when you look at Honora does have, and Sean Baker has done everything on this. He wrote the script, so he's nominated for writing. He's nominated as a producer in the Best Picture category. He's nominated in directing here, and he's nominated in editing. He did that as well. So the fact that Honora is in the running for editing and director, possibly gives it a good, shout here. But that being said, Anora's not nominated for cinematography, so who knows? I genuinely think Best Picture is a 3-horse race. I think it could go anywhere. So, but yeah, we'll get onto that. It's interesting that our vote has gone across 4 of the 5 directors here as well between all of us. I think let's have a look. 4 of us, because JC has just submitted his pick there. So 4 of us have gone with Anora, Sean Baker. So that was myself and Dan, JC, and Jim have gone with Anora. 5 have gone with Brady Corbet from The Brutalist, who did, of course, win the Golden Globe here. And he won another one as well. I think Brady Corbet's won 2. Rob, Grace, Nick, Kimmy, and Chris have gone with Brady Corbet. Noah and Ray have gone with Jacques Audiard for Emilia Perez. And Brandon and Pam have gone with Coralie Fajo for The Substance. Coralie Fajo becomes
so good.
Yeah, Coralie Fajo becomes only the 9th woman and the 10th female director nomination in 97 years, which is crazy. So it'd be great if she won it. And I did love The Substance, but I think this one's between Baker and Corbet.
We'll see. All right, let's do Best Picture. I know Dan has to go, so let's get Dan's opinion. And if you have to go, that's great. So thank you for joining us. Hold on.
That's all good.
Here are the 10 nominees for Best Picture.
Anora,
The Brutalist,
A Complete Unknown,
Conclave,
Dune Part 2,
Emilia Perez,
I'm Still Here,
Nickel Boys,
The Substance,
and Wicked.
Go for it. Dan, what do you think?
I'll just point out this award, this grouping here, I feel like is getting more and more unnecessary.
I agree.
Now, hear me out. There are so many amazing films that happen every single year, but you don't need to put them all in one category. Like,
I agree.
You do not need to put Dune Part 2. You do not need to put Nickel Boys in this group because they're not going to win. I mean, look, they might do the most incredible upset, but we know they're not going to win. And even the Academy, they know they're not going to win anyway. So why are we featuring them? There's just no point for me personally. It really should be restricted, right? It should be restricted to the top 5 or I don't know, the top 6, and then battle it out because there's some there who know they're not going to win it, and it really quite it almost like this needs to be like if you've been nominated for a certain amount of awards, then you can be in the Best Picture. But like Dune Part 2 has only been nominated for what, 3 awards? I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
4 maybe.
Nickel Boys has only been nominated for
5. Dune Part 2 is nominated for 5.
But do you see what I mean? Like, I don't feel like there needs to be, and they're not even all for big nomination awards anyway. A lot of Dune Part 2 is like cinematography and sound.
It's mostly technical awards.
It's mostly technical awards. So, but Best Picture doesn't mean best technical film. It's the best all-round film. If you want to win, if you want an award of best technical film, then give it to Dune Part 2. It's not going to win. It's like having Wicked win the best costume award, and then they get the award for best clothes. Like the film is not just about who's got the best clothes. it needs to be the best overall film. So I don't understand why
I agree.
films like Doom Part 2 are in this, because they aren't. They are not. They don't fit every category. So it annoys me every year that they get bigger and bigger and bigger. But it should
I was praying for 8 or less.
Yeah.
Adam's going to say different.
I said 10, and the reason I said 10, and it makes me laugh that Rob says 8 or less every year, is because they announced a few years ago that it was going to be 10 every year. So, it was going to be. It was always going to be 10.
My cloud, Adam. Jeez.
Yeah. So now, yeah, it was kind of fun when they had it as a variation between like 7 and 9. Like that's what they had it a few years ago. Before they, I think it was about 4 years ago, they said, right, it's going to be 10 every year.
Yeah.
It's
Dan,
all about the one.
I completely understand your argument. However, the one thing that completely undoes everything you just said is Coda, which was nominated for just 3 awards. Coda was nominated for an acting award, a writing award, and Best Picture, and it won all 3 of them. If like that was the big upset that year, was like everyone was expecting Power of the Dog, which was the supposed technical masterpiece that year. So was it a thoroughly entertaining film? No, we all kind of agreed it wasn't the most gripping, exciting film. There was elements of brilliance in it, but Power of the Dog, I think everyone was expecting to win, and that the fact that Coda had that late surge and that victory was really, really sweet, because Coda was a really uplifting, fun film. But it wouldn't have had that opportunity had they get said, well, you need to have X amount of nominations, to stand a chance of Best Picture.
I feel the problem is, in my opinion, although Coda was one of my favorite films of the year, I really enjoyed the film.
Yeah.
The problem is that I feel like the Oscars have turned so subjective that there's no ranking, right? Because let's be honest, I don't feel that Coda was the best film of the year, because if it was, it would have done well in every single category. But
I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
Like, if you expect it to be the best film of the year, it needs to be very good in every single category, because the Best Picture is the best.
And this is why a lot of them kind of generally are linked with the achievements in directing, achievements in editing, achievements in cinematography, things like that, but I suppose this category, having 10 in the running, does give you that chance for an upset. I don't like it when there's only 5 at the BAFTA, for example. Like BAFTA only picked 5
films, I agree.
and I think that's too few. Like if you were to condense this down to 5, okay, like Anora, I think was a fantastic film, and is one of the 3 that I think is in the running. The Brutalist is another of the 3. It was obviously a huge sort of behemoth 3.5 hour sort of epic. Conclave, has a lot of love, a lot of support for it. That's the one that I think is also in the running. A Complete Unknown was a great film, great performances. Amelia Perez is the most nominated of the year, so obviously naturally it stands a chance at Best Picture. The Substance, highly talked about, lots of love, and Wicked obviously, is the box office one of the year. So the ones that I don't understand why are in the running, I agree. Doom Part 2, is it Best Picture? I suppose it's an epic picture. It's probably up there with Wicked in terms of being the biggest production of the year, I think. I'm still hearing Nickel Boys, I think, with the 2 that kind of slipped in as surprises. It doesn't take away. I mean, we can't comment on I'm Still Here because none of us have seen it. That's the thing. But it's nominated for international. It's nominated for one of the acting categories. Nickel Boys is probably the biggest surprise that's in there. It had good promise, and it was shot in a completely different way, in that they shot the film entirely from a first-person perspective, following 2 characters. So it was a really clever, different, unique way of doing it. Does that mean it deserves Best Picture nomination? Probably not. I agree that Nickel Boys maybe shouldn't be in there. But I think the other ones stand out above.
Yeah,
Bearing in mind, I've watched over 40 pictures here. Like, I think these 10 stand out above the rest, if that makes sense. Maybe with the exception of Sing Sing. I think Sing Sing probably deserved to be in there over Nickel Boys. But yeah, that's
fair.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just my that's just my opinion. I see your side of it as well, but I don't know where you would cut it down. Like, unless you kind of went back to how it was 4 or 5 years ago, where they had anywhere between 7 and 9, and it could vary. Some years they would have some years they would have 7, some years they would have 9.
Or you do what Eurovision do, and they all vote for each other.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. That would be interesting.
Let's
get on with the picks. I got to get going, unfortunately. So.
Okay, so the picks we between us all, we've gone with 4 of them. I
added JC's. So.
You've added JC's as well. So Noah has gone with Wicked, Nick has gone with Wicked, Pam has gone with Wicked, Grace has gone with Conclave, Jim has gone with Conclave, Kimmy has gone with Conclave, Rob has gone with The Brutalist, Ray has gone with The Brutalist, and Chris has gone with The Brutalist, and then myself and Dan, Brandon and JC have all gone with Anora. And to answer your question then, Rob, which one am I rooting for? Anora is probably my favorite one of the year. I did really enjoy Anora. I know you said you weren't a fan of it, but that one was my favorite, but that's not to shoot down the others. Wicked was really good fun. The Substance was equally hilarious and gruesome and horrendous. I think Conclave.
No one picked that.
I think Conclave is brilliant. What, The Substance? There, nobody picked The Substance. I think The Brutalist is fantastic storytelling. It's long, but unlike the Scorsese films like The Killers of the Flower Moon and The Irishman, which I felt could have been cut down from the 3.5 hours that they were, I felt The Brutalist, everything was relevant. All of it's 3 hours and 20 minutes or whatever it was. I think all of it was relevant, and there wasn't really much room to cut that film down. So it was clever that they put an intermission in it, which the 2 Scorsese films did not. So, but yeah, I think this is really exciting in that this one isn't a lock. This one is not a lock at all.
No.
Yeah. So I'm really intrigued to see how this one goes.
I have no clue. Like my research, everyone loved Anora today. I'm like, I didn't see that coming. That like, I know Anora people love the movie, but I didn't see everyone was picking that for Best Picture. Brutalist had a lot of good traction. Conclave had a lot of great traction. Wicked's a great movie. I don't think it's going to win for Best Picture. So, and again,
it should be said. It should be said that The Brutalist won the Golden Globe, didn't it? For Best Picture. Anora won the Critics' Choice, and then Conclave won the BAFTA, and it also won the SAG Ensemble as well, which means Conclave is really, really gaining traction again here, having won the last 2. Again, one thing that Anora's got going for it is that it won, as well as the Critics' Choice, it won the Directors Guild, the Producers Guild, and the Writers Guild Awards. Mm-hmm. And that, I think, only once in history has a film won Directors Guild, Producers Guild, Writers Guild, and Critics' Choice and not gone to win the Oscar. And that was when Brokeback Mountain didn't win. I think Crash beat it at the 78th Academy Awards. So I think, Anora and Conclave are probably the front 2 runners now. That being said, The Brutalist shouldn't be discounted because it won the Golden Globe. So
we'll see. I don't know. Who knows? Is it? I don't know. No clue. No.
That's just my opinion.
I think in conclusion, there's one good thing that we can take away from this nomination Academy Award season. Barbie wasn't nominated.
I think talking of that, of course, Barbie won Best Song last year, and Barbie had the Oscars most talked about standout moment at the awards show last year when Ryan Gosling got up and performed "I'm Just Ken."
It was great
with Slash and Wolfgang Van Halen and all the other Kens from the movie. It was the Oscars moment, and this year they've taken away the 5 songs nominated. So there are no performances of the 5 original songs nominated this year. There are going to be musical performances as well, still, they said, but not the performances of these 5 numbers. They're going to be doing stuff that I think honors
there's going to be
the legacy and craft, the stuff that honors the legacy and craft of filmmaking, but also that honors the sort of honors LA and their resolution, amid like the fires and everything like that. So
can we also just very briefly add, because we're all obviously big movie fans, that there obviously will be a dedication to the late Gene Hackman. That was very shocking to hear. Obviously,
it was, a
huge influence of Hollywood and movie history. I mean,
one of the best of all time.
I loved him in Superman. He was in Superman. Well, Superman was one of the first films I ever watched as a child, and I always was so amused every single time he ripped his wig off. Revealed him as Lex Luthor, and just the villainous character they had in that film with acting with Christopher Reeves, that I always remind myself of him in that film. But amongst all the other films that he's done, but tomorrow he will obviously be remembered for that, for his history in Hollywood and his craft and his incredible career. So. No, for sure. Really sad news, but
absolutely.
Yeah.
I think they'll manage to get him in the in memoriam section. So I think they'll get Gene Hackman in there for sure. But that was a shock in recent days. I think it's going to be an interesting show. I'm looking forward to seeing how Conan does as the host as well.
Conan the Barbarian.
Conan the Barbarian as the host. Yep, I think I think he'll be really good.
That's it.
Cool.
That's it. Our predictions are in. They are locked. Thank you to everyone that's playing along. Good luck to everyone that's playing along.
I look forward to seeing my trophy.
We will be. Dan, good luck to you. It'd be great if you got onto the winners board. Good luck to everyone. It's always just a bit of fun. It's as someone who works in film, I maybe put some undue pressure on myself because it's all just a game and a bit of opinion at the end of the day. It's like, I don't think just because I am a producer, it doesn't mean my knowledge should be, greater than anyone else's. That's not the way I consider this at all. Sometimes I do put a bit of undue pressure on myself, but I shouldn't. It's just a game at the end of the day, isn't it? It's just a bit of fun. We spend time watching some of these pictures, and we go with what we think is going to win it.
Going around the horn real quick, Dan, how many think you're going to get right this year?
All of them. I've always said for the last 7 years, all I want to do is to beat my rival, and that's Brandon. I've done it every year, that's my goal.
To be fair, you have beaten Brandon, I think, most years, if not all of them.
Every year. Thank you very much.
I'll have to go back through the results. I'm sure I've kept them. I'm sure I've kept them all.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. Adam, how many you're going to get?
Oh, there's too many wide open races this year.
What did we get last year to win? What did we get last year to win? I didn't predict this year.
I think last year we probably got something along the lines of 20 or 21 each or something like that. I think maybe 20 each we maybe got last year. You know what? There's so many wide open races this year. I'll be delighted if I get 15. Honestly, I will. You know, I will be delighted if I get 15. I think this year, like I say, there's a couple of locks, but I think there's stuff that's just too close to call at the moment. A lot of them are 50-50. Some of them are 3-horse races. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah, if any more than 15, I'm happy. Go on, Rob.
I need the zingers. So go ahead, say it again.
I will be delighted if I get 15. There we go.
I'll be delighted if I get 15 as well, but I'm going to predict I'm going to get 18 this year. 18, right? Because that's usually what I do, 18, 19. Last year we got really lucky. But I'd be happy with that. I'm along the same lines as you. 15 would be great.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I think Kimmy's going to come in top 5. That's my prediction too.
I'm just making sure, like, I'm looking through. I just want to make sure that, like, yeah, I think there is a few categories where, like, we all have picked different things. So I don't think
it always balances out. But
yeah, I don't think there's a chance of anyone. I mean, yeah, of course, there's a chance of people drawing, like, you know, but I think it's a bit less likely. So we'll see.
I do got to go though, guys. So don't forget, guys, Sunday, red carpet over at Adams Land. Check out his channel. Pub talks there and here as well. So Adams Land, the YouTube channel. So Sunday, what time? 5:30 Eastern time, I think you said 5.
Yeah, probably around 5 p.m. Eastern time, give or take. So yeah.
Okay. And then Monday, I guess same time, 5:30 Eastern, I guess.
Yeah, Monday, 5:30 Eastern.
Show.
Yeah, we'll do the recap results. Dan, will you be joining us for that on Monday?
It is very unlikely on a weekday during working hours.
On a school night. Okay, if you can't, we understand with the time difference. Perhaps Brandon can join us and see whether he beat you or whether you beat him. See whether he won. Or yeah. So.
All right. Cheers, guys. Another pub episode's come to an end.
Cheers, guys.
My family's freaking out. I don't know what's going on.
The results.
Yeah, good luck, everyone. Hopefully we get more than 15. I think he's gonna do good. I think he'll do really good. Let's just put it that way. All that time spent. So. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you Sunday. We'll see you Monday.
Noah says, bring it on.
Thanks, Adam. I love it. The Rob Fuzz horns. Thank you, Noah. See you. Thanks, Jim.
Cheers, Jim.
Everyone, good luck, everyone. Thank you so much again for my sponsor channel
Noah.
And my member channel members. I appreciate you guys.
JC, Annette, Grace, Nick,
thanks,
Pam,
guys.
Kimmy, everyone that's popped in. Yeah. Brandon was in the chat before as well. So John as well. Serpum John was in the chat. So thanks to everyone for popping in. Happy Friday. Chin chin. Cheers.
Cheers, guys. Thank you. Have a good weekend, guys. Thanks.
Good luck.
See you later.
Good luck, guys. Bye.